Oh, and we're live. Welcome, welcome. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the very, very first Mumfreedompreneur Hangout for 2015. And so far we have with us, we've got Elizabeth and Gabrielle and Greta, and I know that Sarita is working on getting on. She's in Bali right now. She's in Bali, and so hopefully with the internet connection, she's been popping in and out, but she's on this great vacation on Bali, and she might hop on for a little bit with us. And we have someone else here down there. I don't know if that's Alicia. Someone else. If we get the sound, oh, they popped off. Anyways, welcome everyone. Today we are going to be talking about a huge obstacle to achieving, your 2015 intentions, your 2015 resolutions. Before we go there, and there's Michelle. There's Michelle. Yay! And before I go there, quickly introduce myself, Valerie Jampolsky, single mom with twin 4-year-olds. They're sleeping in the other room right now because it's early for us. I'm here in Los Angeles. We got people. We've got moms here from all over the world, literally. So, quickly just run through everybody, introduce themselves, and then we'll get into our topics. So we'll start here. Let's see, Elizabeth, you want to pop out for a sec? Give a brief introduction to everybody. Maybe they don't know who you are yet.
Okay. I don't know how to pop into the screen.
Yeah, you are. I popped you.
Oh, okay. I'm Elizabeth Valeries. I'm the mom from the Revitalized family, and I'm getting involved with this because I want to improve my family's status and well-being. So.
Cool. Great. And you got how many kids? And
4 that live with me, one adopted daughter who's engaged, and we're all over the place.
Hooray, hooray. And you are, unless everybody knows where you are, on the planet, where are you?
Oh, I'm in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, right up on the mountain trails.
Cool. So I'm here in Los Angeles, and she's out there on the East Coast of the U.S., and we're going to pop over here quickly. Bashan's here with us too. We'll go quickly over to Gabrielle. You quickly introduce for folks that might not know you yet.
Yeah, I'm Gabrielle. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit tired. It's just gone midnight here in Australia, and my son's kind of waking around. It's like 45 degrees today. It's pretty hot. So everyone's a bit unsettled tonight because it's just so warm. So yeah, I'm from England, but I actually now live in Australia. I've got 2 kids, and I moved here, following my dream. I was, looking for that freedom lifestyle, that, live by the beach and outdoors life, and it's definitely brought that to me for sure, especially on a day like today. So yeah, I'm really pleased to be here and share stuff that I've been learning on my journey throughout this, since I've been with this business. And yeah, I've got some little tips and tricks for you today, so yeah, I guess we'll come back to me in a minute.
Yeah, we're just quickly going across the panel with everyone, and let's see, Greta, can you come out, or are you muted there? Just let us know when you can hop out, Greta. I'm just going across the panel here. We'll go to, and thank you. And how many little ones you got? Gabrielle. Oh, are you muted again? She's got 2.
20 months old and a nearly 4-year-old. She's 4 in a couple of weeks, and she's kidding me. In fact, she thought she's like, "Am I 4 today?" I was like, "No, not today. A few weeks." So yeah, it's fun. Good
cool. Cool. Yeah, and so now we got Australia. I love it there. It's winter here. It's summer there. So it's like I just love it. We're literally all over the world. Now we're gonna go over to Michelle.
Hi. How are you? I'm Michelle. I'm from Wellington, New Zealand, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning here, so it's still a little bit dark, but the sun's coming up. So it's summer over here at the moment, so we've been spending quite a bit of time at the beach. It's not as hot as 45 degrees. It's more like early 20s, but it's still quite pleasant. And I've got 2 boys, aged 5 and 2. Yeah.
Cool. Go. Yeah, and that's, by the way, everybody, we're talking 5 o'clock Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, we're a day ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's kind of like, woo. I get a kick out of that. I don't know. I'm a little nutty. Okay, let's go. Now we're going to go back. I'm going to go over, see, because Greta's still muted out there, but I'm going to go over to Vashon. We're just doing quick introductions of ourselves before we hop into our topic.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Good morning for me. It's actually 10 a.m. where I am, and it's Monday morning. I'm in Branson, Missouri in the United States, and I think I've got you beat for cold. It was a very frigid 13 degrees here this morning, and that's Fahrenheit. But, oh, my goodness,
Wow.
It was chilly. So I've got the heater going on in my office, got my sweater on, so staying warm. But I have 2 boys. They are age 9 and age 6, and dropped them off to school this morning. And so it's nice and quiet here right now. Just the dogs and I are hanging out. But so glad to be here with these lovely ladies from all over the world. And I've been involved in this business for a year and a half now, and it's just a joy. I enjoy meeting people, and I enjoy the business itself. It's fabulous.
Woohoo! All right, and now we got one where we actually have another country in here, and that's Greta. I don't know, Greta, can you hop out? Maybe not yet. Yes?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can totally hear you.
Can you see me?
No, can't see you, but we can totally hear you.
That's so strange. It's not telling me that on my screen, but that's okay. I'm happy that I'm here and that you guys are all here. Look at all these ladies. Oh, it's so great when everybody's able to hop on. For those of you who don't know me, I am a busy mama of 6 crazy kids that I am trying to keep under control at the moment. Not under control, but, you know, just quiet enough. And, you know, I may get people or children sneaking in and out of my hangout as it happens at times, and muting myself in and out and all that good stuff. So I'm really excited about this topic today that Valerie came up with. I think it's going to be really powerful. I know it's going to be really powerful for you watching right now. So definitely stick around. Make sure you have, you know, a pen and paper. You know, just a little bit more about me. I live on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada, and yeah, it's a little chilly here too. Probably not as cold as some of the places, and not as hot as some of the places that we have here as well. So when my video comes on, you'll see a big red sweater on me. That's me. Anyways, yeah. So take it away, Valerie.
Oh, great! Thank you. So I'm gonna dive into some thoughts on this, and we'll go across everybody putting this in. And I debated about what we were gonna to give the actual topic of it. It is one of it's a huge obstacle to achieving you know, your 2015 resolutions, achieving your intentions, frankly, for achieving any goal that you've got. And a lot of folks don't even realize that they're doing it. They don't even realize that they're doing it. So I'm just gonna hop right into it and give some of my thoughts, and we'll go back and forth and have a conversation on this with tips and everything else. And it's this, and it's a lot of folks here, we do set intentions, and there's even people, you know, we do visualizations. Maybe, you know, we visualize what we want, and we feel it as if it's already happening, and, you know, we do, you know, audios, we do lots of different things, right, to keep it fresh in our minds. But there's another step that a lot of folks don't do, and they may not even realize how to fix it, or maybe they're aware of it, and they don't have a perspective of a way to fix it. And I recently came across a perspective that for me was very, very powerful in how to prevent and fix this, you know, fix with this and deal with this on an ongoing basis. And this is what it is. It's when you have, maybe you haven't achieved your result yet, okay, you know, or it might even happen immediately, like the moment you set the intention saying, I'm going to feel this is what I want, and you know that the idea is to feel it as if it's happening now. Like when you think about what your goal is to not think of it as something out there that you're going to achieve later, but knowing having this awareness that the abundance is here and now, and seeing yourself as if it's happening right now. Well, what can happen is there'll be a thought that comes popping into your head going, well, that's not true, or that can't happen, or I don't know if you've ever had a glitch or something happen and whatever you're doing, maybe you hit an obstacle in something that you're doing, maybe even a tech glitch. Tech glitches or anything that comes up in your life, and a thought that might come across your mind saying something like, oh, well, oh yeah, problems always happen to me, or I never get help, or I can't fix this, or, all the I can'ts and all the negative thoughts, or any kind of negative thought, basically any thought that crosses your mind, whether it's in your business or anything else, where the feeling is like this feeling inside. That's the way that I can register it, as an feeling inside. And what that does when those thoughts come through, and I'm going to say this in this way, when those thoughts come through and you buy into some belief that those thoughts are yours, and you may find this odd, and I'll explain this in a second. When those thoughts come through and you buy into the idea that those thoughts are yours, then what happens is there's all this negative emotion that ties into it, and on an esoteric level, your vibration changes. And you literally, if you want to talk law of attraction, you start attracting the negative side, right? You start attracting that. You start attracting all of that. So on the one hand, you're doing all this positive. On the other hand, you got all this negative coming in. And it can also affect the actions that you take, right? So, because ultimately that, even if you don't believe in vibration and everything else, when you have a negative feeling, it affects everything that you do. It just affects what you do. And something that was recently, and you guys know I love quoting, Michael Bernard Beckwith, but this came from him. And it's the idea that there's, we have thoughts, and there's a lot of negative thoughts out there. And it could be stuff that you have plugged into your subconscious from who knows where. It could be from a conversation that you heard. It could be from something somebody said to you in your childhood. It could be from something that you saw on TV, something in the news, something anywhere. Or it could just be there's, and for me this helps to believe this, that there are just all these, the thoughts of humanity. There's a lot of stuff that's just floating out there. And they can cross through your mind. And we'll, there's talk, we always talk about, your mind, and you may not realize this, and I didn't know this until it was brought to my awareness, but your thoughts they come from two sources. They come from you, they come from your source, they come from your wisdom, from the true source of who you are, and those are going to be positive. And the ones that are negative, that try to tell you that you are lesser than you really are, which is this incredible, beautiful, powerful, wise, person that has all this abundance inherently as a part of your life. If you start buying into any of the negative stuff, that's not truth. No matter how much you may try to look at your environment and say, okay, well, but I got this in my environment, and so therefore it must be true. But the reality is your environment is a reflection of the thoughts you've chosen to believe, of the thoughts that when the positive ones that come up, if you honor those and take action on those. But if the negative ones come through and you decide to say they're yours and allow your emotions to go into them and buy into them, then that's what you create. That's what you create. So your current environment is only a reflection of it's a reflection of your what you've allowed yourself to buy into, really. So we have a choice, and that choice is that when those thoughts come through, is to just go, is that my ask? Is that my thought? And if it feels like yuck, chances are it's not, and you can just go, no, oops, thank you, no. And I'm going to throw another level onto it, and that is that because I did this too, when I first discovered this, I went, oh my God, I'm going with these negative thoughts. And I started to beat myself up for the very fact that I became aware, instead of just reacting reflexively, like just going through life and just feeling this feeling and not realizing that I had this whole stream of, like, I've heard somebody call it monkey chatter, going, and they had, or somebody calls it the little voice. I mean, all that stuff where I'm buying into it. I'm not even consciously buying into it. I'm just reflexively buying into it. when I became aware that it was going through, I started at first to really get down on myself and go, wow, and get angry at myself for having these thoughts. When that actually takes you down, even down the can take you down the rabbit hole as well. So as you're listening to this, you may have like possibly even realized, oh my goodness, I've been having these thoughts. I'm going to say to my dear friends, you watching, yes, you, who just had this thought cross your head, it's okay, give yourself a break, right? Because it comes through, and all you do is just go, and even if that, you realize you got angry at yourself for it, you can let it go. You can let it go and go, even that's not truth. Because the truth is who you are, and everybody else, we can speak to this and your tips of how other ways of approaching it. But one of the things for me is to just be able to go, what I find powerful is to go, it's not my thought. It's really not. It's not reality with a capital R. It's just this thing that's crossing through my head that came from wherever. You don't even need to know 100% where it came from. You can just go, and you don't need to buy into it. It's just like this release. And give yourself credit for the fact that you actually recognize the thoughts. Instead of getting down on yourself for recognizing and going, oh my goodness, I did this, give yourself credit. It's like, wow, I'm conscious. Hooray, I'm conscious. And you can let it go. So I'm sure those folks have a lot of other comments and tips. I wanted to just start off with that. And we'll go across and pop up anybody, tips, thoughts, experiences, etc. And when come through, anybody who wants to hop out first? Go through. Let's see, Gabrielle, I think you said, are you available? I know it's late for you. Remember, you said you had some tips. Do you wanna hop out?
Michelle, I think, is ready.
Oh, Michelle, you're ready. Okay, great. There we go. Michelle.
I don't really have any tips as such, but oh my goodness, yesterday I had a whole lot of monkeys on my back. So this today is really fantastic for me to be able to push those negative thoughts away. And Greta gave me a great Bob Proctor, which I listened to last night. I did fall asleep, but I do find that when I have done meditation before, it's been really, really helpful. And I've also started rereading Think and Grow Rich as well. So I'm on the right path, and I think it's really good to hear that it's just monkey chatter, and just to tell it to go away. It's not my truth. Just get off my back. So today's another day. So I'm really looking forward to listening to all the tricks and tips out there. Thank you.
I love it, Michelle. Just saying it's not your truth. I love that. It's not your truth. That's so cool. Can you tell which Bob Proctor, by the way, so we can share with everybody, which Bob Proctor did you watch or listen to?
Oh gosh, Greta.
What was it called?
Greta sent it to me, and I don't know. So I just clicked on the link and listened to it.
Greta, do you remember which one it was?
Yes, I've been listening to it. Honestly, I've been listening to it every single night for about a week now, and it's so amazing. It's called, the title of there's many different things that you can find, obviously, from Bob Proctor, and it's the Shift Your Paradigm. So it's Bob Proctor Meditation Exercise plus Hemisync the Return. So it's actually about 45 minutes long.
Well, can you say that again? It's Bob Proctor Shift Your Paradigm?
Yes, but there's a few of them that you can find. So it's got to be this specific one, and you can find it. You'll see an image of him, Bob Proctor, Shift Your Paradigm, and it's 45 minutes and 29 seconds, and it's just been absolutely incredible for me. So that is definitely one of my tips for you today as well, and I'm so glad, Michelle, that you were able to listen to it. And I listened to it, of course, again last night, and just the other day. I don't know, can you guys hear that feedback, or is it just me?
Not that much, just a little bit.
Not that much, okay.
Yeah, when I click on you, the whole screen is black, though, so I'm sort of keeping it on. Yeah. So yeah, it's like the whole screen is black. We don't see your photo when I click on you in here. So I've got it. Right now we're on Michelle.
Okay, no problem. At least you can hear me.
Yeah.
So So yeah, just the other day, I just woke up and I really felt like listening to it again, and that's what will happen to you too. So, but don't worry, because it's a really good thing. And I've never actually, I've done a lot of guided meditations before. I've never experienced one quite like this before, and so I decided I was just going to pop it on my phone, and I had all my kids. We were doing breakfast and such in the kitchen, and I popped it on, and the kids were immediately just, everything shifted, the energy, and so I had, like I said, I had it on my phone, and I thought, okay, they're really into this. Like even especially my 6-year-old, I will say. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to put it on in the office because it's just adjacent. It's just right beside my kitchen. So I opened up the office and I popped it on the computer so that it could be in this room, and whoever wanted to go in and really fully get into it could. And of course, a couple of my kids went in there and laid down, and it was just a magical experience. And I think I was baking muffins or something, and Ethan my 6-year-old, pops back in the kitchen, lays down on the counter, completely, everything, his whole body was just, like, it was like he was melting like he was completely connected to this higher consciousness. And he looked at me and he said, "Mommy, I don't know why nobody else is doing this. It just feels so good." And I was like, "Isn't it amazing?" He's like, "Yes." And it didn't even matter. Like, he was completely just in the zone. You know, he slipped right into the gap, as we call it. And it was just so amazing. And you know, there's been a couple of other things that I've been implementing lately. Journaling is one, and doing forgiveness exercises and things like that. That just really helps to keep my mind focused in the right direction and to help to quiet those voices, those negative voices, that monkey chat or whatever you refer to it. You know, the mean girls or whatever it is. It's just, you know, it's 2015. It's a new year. It's time to refresh our minds and to believe in ourselves and to love ourselves. And in order to do those things and to change old habits and create new results is by creating new habits. And so these, you know, I know that these other women are going to have some amazing tips for you. So for me as well, and Michelle, you know, that she just gave a good testimonial as far as what the video that I'm recommending for you. You know, just do it. Just make it happen. You know, and it might sound, oh my gosh, it's 45 minutes. Seriously, it's pretty, I mean, it will just suck you in and draw you in. And like I said, I do it at bedtime, and I fall asleep to it. You know, sometimes halfway through. My little one, I have a 1-year-old, and he'll wake me up for a little feed in the night or something, and it'll just be playing in my ear, and you know, it's just really amazing. So that's my tip for you today. Definitely, you know, make this year the best year of your life. You have everything you need in order to do that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Greta. And I just want to put out something is like being a part of a community. You can connect with, you know, when there's something, even, you know, resources, even using the resources that we have at our fingertips. There's a button below, and you can click on it and you know, connecting with our not only with what it is that we do, but part of that is also having a huge community and having people that really believe in the best of you and the power of you to also be there, so that pull you, to remind you to come out of that monkey chatter as well. It's just our seeing, being a part of the community helps a lot with that. So pass it on. Who wants to pop out next? Rashawn, yay! Oh, no, yeah, no sound yet. Hearing, waiting. No sound yet. Nope.
How about now?
Woohoo! Yeah, you are.
All right. So I love this topic. Let's just start with that. And how would you like to know 2 tips to improve your vibration today and 8 phrases that we say and how to reframe them? Would you like that? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what I'd like you guys to do, because I love giving out these tips. It's just
get ready to take notes.
I know. Get ready to take notes. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Okay, first of all, these are 2 tips that'll improve your vibration, because part of the challenge that we have is that we sometimes say things that are negative or think thoughts that are negative, and we may not even realize it because it's so ingrained into who we are. And it could be how you were raised. It could be a number of factors. But you can change those things. And so I'm going to share with you these 2 tips, and they'll really help because they've helped me personally. So the first tip is, and this is how you change your vibration, is keep a thought journal. A thought journal. So basically what this is keep a small notepad, or you can even do it with your smartphone if you have one. But keep that with you at all times in your purse, or on your desk if you have a desk job or something like that. And anytime that you have a negative thought, write it down in your journal. Okay? Why would you want to do that? Because it immediately stops your negative thought in its tracks, because now you're aware of it. And it also allows you to analyze that negative thought, and then you can notice the most common problem areas or limiting beliefs that you should work on personally. Because sometimes we don't know, those beliefs until we become conscious of them and write them down. It's hard to really self-analyze. So keep that thought journal. That's tip 1. The second thing is a little silly, but it does work, is to wear a rubber band on your wrist. And I don't have one today, but wear some kind of a rubber band on your wrist. And basically, this is one of the fastest ways to change any behavior. But wear a rubber band, and then you want it not too tight so it doesn't cut off circulation or anything. But what I want you to do is actually snap it whenever you have that negative thought come up. Okay? Give it a good snap, and then, like writing it down, it's going to stop that negative thought in its tracks immediately. And it also will condition you to have fewer negative thoughts in the future. Okay, so I know that's a little painful there, but you know what? It really works. And after a while, you don't even need a rubber band, because you'll start to notice those negative thoughts when they pop up, and you'll immediately dismiss them and replace them. So that kind of leads into the next thing I spoke of, and that's 8 phrases that we often tell ourselves and how to reframe them. Reframing means taking a negative topic or a thought and reframing it to a positive. So these are 8 common ones that I've written down. Okay, so here's the first one. The first one is, people never listen to me. How many of you have ever said that? People never listen to me. Well, here's how you can reframe that. Say this: while it's unfortunate that this person doesn't appreciate my ideas as much as they should, many other people do. In fact, just yesterday I had a number of people agree with me in my proposal about, such and such. So you're reframing it into a positive. All right, let's go to the next one. Something bad is about to happen. You ever thought that? Something bad is about to happen. Reframe that. Reframe it and say, I'm not sure what the future will bring, but chances are high that it will be good. Isn't that cool? Reframe it like that. Okay, here's another one for you. Anyone can do what I do. If you've ever said that, here's how you change that and reframe it. Reframe it to, I'm very good at what I do. My skills are impressive, and lots of people are probably envious. Isn't that nice? And at first, it may sound kind of, arrogant. At least it did to me when I first started reframing things. I'm like, man, I'm making myself sound too good. But you know what? You need that, because it takes 5 positives in your life to overcome 1 negative. All right? So you need to constantly be feeding yourself with positive thoughts. Okay, here's another one. Since this went wrong, everything will go wrong. Have you ever said that? Well, you reframe this by saying, although this went wrong, I can handle the challenge that it presents. And besides, it's just one failure amidst many probable successes. So you're minimizing that and making it just one small aspect of more success that's to come. All right, here's another one. It's all my fault. Have you ever said that? It's all my fault. Well, here's how you reframe it. You say, I contributed to the problem here, and I accept full responsibility for the part that is my fault. Nevertheless, there were factors beyond my control, so I can't blame myself for everything that went wrong. I know that's a lot. If you're taking notes, just kind of get the gist of it, and think about how you can best reframe some of these. All right, here's another one. If only I had this, then I could do this. Fill in the blank. If only I had blank, then I could blank. Okay, so here's how you frame that. Reframe it. Nothing is stopping me from achieving my goals. Nothing is stopping me from achieving my goals. So now you've just reframed it and minimized that there's nothing holding you back. All right, here's another one. I can't handle this. You ever said that? Can't handle this. Rather than saying that, reframe it and say, I've faced many challenges before, and I've conquered all of them. Not only that, but they rarely turn out to be anything significant in the grand scheme of things. Now you've minimized that. You can handle it. You've made it this far in your life. Look at all the things you've accomplished up until this point. You can handle it. All right, here's the last one. I've been rejected. I'm worthless. Ever thought something similar? Well, you need to reframe that one as well and say, missing this opportunity may turn out to be a fantastic thing for me. Or, I can't take it personally. He probably was in a bad mood. Or, it's better that I tried and failed than to have not tried at all. Look at all the ways you can reframe that. So everything has a purpose. Look at it like that, and something better is just around the corner. So those are 8 reframes, 8 phrases that you can reframe in your life, and you may come up with other ways to reframe it. I was just giving you some ideas, but I will tell you that the more often you do this, if you make this a daily habit, you're going to just be blown away with how your vibration changes, how people are more attracted to you, how opportunities start flowing into your life that you could never even imagine, and it's all by reframing you and your attitude. So I hope this helped you out.
Vashon, that's great, and I love the journal idea of writing things down. I want to throw something out, because I come from a background of, there's a lot of things you could say. There was a lot of reasons why, but whatever. I came from a place of, as a child, of really, because of a lot of trauma and different things, heavy negativity. Okay, so I want to speak right now to the folks that might have had a possible emotional reaction to some of this stuff that Vashon just said. Because, we're talking, and I'm open with it because I want to show people that you can come out the other side of something like this. As a child, I attempted suicide, okay? So, it goes deep. So, sometimes there's a lot of darkness that's been kept for a very, very, very long time. And when the negativity is really dark and really heavy, even saying something like, I've overcome all challenges in the past, there would have been a time in my life where I would have said, BS, no, I have not. I would have taken some of this stuff, just saying for anybody that's listened to some of the reframes, if when you heard the reframes in your heart, something inside you went, ugh, I can't say that, because you don't believe it, right there it's another thought, and I want to put out a possible thought on it, okay, because there might be some folks that are watching this. I'm just sensitive to it. There might be some folks, like when you're at a higher level, if you've been doing a lot of reading and doing a lot of this stuff and listening to those audios and listening to all of this, when your vibration is lifted a little bit higher, it's easier to do certain things. But when you're way down low, sometimes it might be hard to tell yourself you've done things in the past where you think you may not have, okay? Especially if you've been in a negative place for years, like I was. I was in a really dark place for years, like literally years. And it's if any of that came up, and any of those reframing don't seem to jive, like you have like a feeling inside with it, you can even let that go too, and literally say choose to say it's monkey chatter, it's not real, and jump to a completely different paradigm. Even just say, are you willing to even be open to the idea that who you are and what is possible for you in the future is not a reflection of what's currently happening in the moment. Whatever's happening in the moment, it is a reflection of maybe where you've come from emotionally, but not who you are or what you deserve or what's possible in the future. One of the things I found, just anybody else wants to stop in on this, but so powerful, is when you said it could be something, anything that has happened, that this could be something that maybe like the rejection one, that perhaps in the future this is leading to something that you don't even know the processes that are in play. And sometimes things need to shift and change in order for something even better to come in. And it's part of trusting your life, trusting the universe, really, to know that all of your positive work and your intentions are moving. And if you allow it, this could be part of something wonderful. You just may not understand it currently in the moment. As a possible reframe, if looking at your past and saying I've done things good in the past is hard for you to acknowledge. Okay, some of that's because I noticed some of yours was doing that, and for you that could be very true, but for some folks, they may not feel that their past has a positive. They may not, because there's been so much darkness for so long. Is the ability to release all of it and just say whatever's happened is not a reflection of the future. It's only a reflection of what I felt was possible. But it's not necessarily a reflection of what's possible in the future. And it's kind of like it's a big jump, and I don't know if that helps. If anybody else can speak to that or understand where have any relation or understanding of what I just popped out there, because I come from a unique, fairly dark background.
Can you hear me, Valerie?
Yeah. Is that you, Greta?
Yes, it's me, Greta. I'm really happy that you touched on that, because it kind of did pop into my mind a little bit. I mean, those tips were. I don't want to take away from those tips, because those tips are
powerful.
Really powerful, really powerful.
Very powerful.
There was definitely a couple of those phrases, because I was thinking about it, because I've gone through a lot of shifts, and I've been focusing on changing my, my mindset for a few years now. I'm really happy, Valerie, that you did bring that up and you explained it the way that you did, because I'm definitely one of those people who have had similar experiences to you, Valerie, and know exactly where you're coming from. And I know that there are others out there who've been there as well. So, and even for you listening right now, maybe some of them, you couldn't relate to as much, and then maybe there was a couple that were like, it was like you saw the lights going off, like, wow, that's me. I say those things, and like Vashon was saying, you can really come up with ones that work for you. Maybe when she was reading them off, they didn't quite fit, but you can change them around a little bit to suit you, to make it a softer leap towards changing that for yourself. It's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it. Worth your time, worth the energy. You, ultimately, what I'm saying here is you are worth it. So I love those questions, and I'm going to take the time for sure. Personally, I'm going to take the time to figure out the phrases that work for me, because there's a couple of those that I've got to work on. I've got to change. So thank you for that. Both Valerie and Vashon, very, very powerful.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, we didn't get your sound?
Can I just say one thing?
Oh, there you are. Vashon, you there? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, yes, I definitely know that some of those, they really strike a chord, especially if you've had, you know, some trauma that's happened in your past. Yeah, believe it or not, although I'm upbeat and happy most of the time now, I've had some serious trauma in my past life as well. And I can say that if one or more of these really just tightens you up like that, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I can make that change, then that is probably an area that you need to focus on. And I like the idea of how, Greta, you worded it as making a softer transition, because we need to be kind to ourselves. It's hard stuff to change some of these things that have been so embedded into us, and the experiences are so emotionally charged. It's hard to change that. But if you can take little baby steps and change that part of you, and now you know what's really hurting. If you can softly start making those change, I think that you will start to experience a breakthrough in your life. So thank you for your perspective, Valerie, and definitely, Greta, appreciate what you said.
Yeah, and thank you, Vashon. And the other thing, if anybody that might be listening to this going, well, how does this relate to business? It does. It really does affect, because all of this, you have all this baggage that you carry around with you that affects all of your communications in your business, as well as what you literally attract and the kind of people that you attract to you as well. So, but so thank you, guys. You might want to rewind and write those things down. There was a lot that Vashon put in there. Is so powerful. So, Gabrielle, are you, or Elizabeth, which are you? Either one of you ready to pop out?
Hey. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did you want to go, Elizabeth?
No, okay. I know it's late. It's late for you, girl.
I know. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of what's being said here today is actually very helpful to me, because I've had a really dark couple of weeks going on. And one of the things I can identify with what Valerie was saying, and having had a really rough childhood and a death in the family this past week, I was trying to deal with that darkness that had been there. And I realized that one of the things that impacted me the most, and we were talking about taking the negatives and making positives, was that me to remember things that happened in my childhood. It caused me to take an entirely different direction with my children. You know, I did not want to be the controlling parent. I did not want to be the person that naysayed everything. I did not want to be the person that they didn't want to talk to. I took a totally different approach with my kids, and it made me a hugely better parent than the parents that I personally experienced. And by doing that, I mean, we do dwell on our negatives, but by the same token, if I didn't have that negative, I wouldn't have been able to put such a push forward to make a positive impact on my children. You know, that was a huge thing, and I am still struggling this week, so I apologize for that. But I'm sure everybody keeps noticing that I keep looking down. I have in my lap my Siamese cat, because one of the things that we learned a couple years ago, I was very sick. And cats, believe it or not, it sounds very hokey, but they have this ability to absorb pain that you're going through. And all animals, dogs, cats, whatever pet you may have this instinctual knowledge of coming up in a set, and they try to calm you down. And my PTSD has been flaring over this last week, so the cats have been flaring on top of me. But it's an amazing thing, because they do calm you down. They do help to redirect you and, you know, help you see other things. And it sounds hokey, but it actually works. And so we right now have one cat for every kid in the family because that way at least, you know, they've got their own private therapy person there. But I just wanted to share that. I'm sorry if I busted in on you, Gabrielle.
That's
No, not at all. Not at all. That was awesome.
that's great.
Oh, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, and with the cats too, it's like you're adjusting your thoughts into a compassionate space because you're sitting there petting the cat. You literally adjust out of whatever it is into putting into a compassionate, you know, appreciative. It totally adjusts the vibration. It makes complete sense. That's so cool. You have one cat for each kid. I love it. Oh. And very, very, very powerful, Elizabeth. Gabrielle, did you want to, or anybody want to comment anything?
Yeah, sure. Wow, thanks, ladies. I've been writing so many notes down. Just something that you mentioned, Valerie, like reality is the reflection of what you have allowed yourself to believe. Just really, yeah, I thought that was awesome. Really, really cool. Yeah, I just like took little snippets from everyone, like Greta, that meditation. I started listening just before I went to bed because I always have a little snooze before I come on this call because I just won't make it otherwise. But yeah, so I had a little listen to that before, and wow, yeah, it's a good one. I can't wait to listen to the whole of it. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, if anyone wants that, we can always post it in the chat as well. Just let us know. Yeah, what? Oh, somebody was that. Okay, I'll go on to what I was going to say, and everyone kind of has their own way to, you know, deal with things, and I have done a lot of research and study into food, and I found that when I changed my diet, a lot of the negative things went away well. I've, like a lot of people, ate a lot of the wrong things, and all those kind of toxins and chemicals, you know, the E numbers and the colours and all that stuff really affects you, and that is really, you know, when you change that, you notice, you know, I totally believe that you are what you eat, and, you know, down to a cellular level, what you're putting into your body goes to your cells, so those little chemicals that you put into you actually make a difference, and I don't think you would really notice until you start making those changes, and that's been pretty powerful for me. For about 4 years now, we've pretty much changed all our diet, and yeah, it's been a journey, but I can tell, I know how I thought then, and I've been, like a lot of us here, you know, a very, you know, dark past, lots of negative things, and letting that can totally consume me, which now I have so much more control over, and yeah, I totally believe that food has a massive part of that. Anything that you put into your body affects your thoughts. It's just there's a study which a lot of people may know, I can't think of his name, and it's about water. And I used to write, this is a long time ago, I used to write happiness or something on my water bottles, which was just I didn't really know what I was doing back then, but now learning a bit more about it, you know, if you talk to your water, I know it might sound silly, giving it positive thoughts, then you change that vibration of the water, so that then changes how your body reacts to that water as well. So that, I mean, that's just like scratching the surface. There's quite a lot involved in that sort of whole experiment that's been proven. So, and I can't think who it is. Maybe someone might know. You could let me know. So yeah, it's what you put in does affect you, and what you put in with your meditation that you're listening to, or anything like that. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on food being really important because I'm a health coach and I love food. So it's, yeah, and how it's changed my life, and yeah, very important. So most of the other things I've mentioned about how to sort of change these things that are happening for you, call a friend, you know, we always stress how amazing our connection and community is here, but it really makes a massive, massive difference. And you know that there's someone that you can always connect to, and I absolutely love that. Having, like, the last few months since I've been doing this, I've got close to so many people so quickly, and I know that they're there for me all the time. And it's been really special. Listen to, yeah, I listen to it. If I'm having one of those sort of mornings, I straight away put on Ask and It Is Given. You know, Abraham's teachings, very powerful. I've mentioned it before, and I probably will again, because it's, yeah, listening to Abraham's teachings, I try and listen to one every day. If not one of theirs, then Wayne Dyer, or, you know, so many different audiobooks and things that you can listen to. But they powerfully change the way your mind is. Well, they do for me. That's just one of the things that I do to help myself. And yeah, I then quickly change. With the Ask and It Is Given, there's also a, let me just check what it's called, emotional guidance scale. So, sorry, my voice is croaky because it's so late. So I can send this if you're interested, because I've typed it all out. So, for example, you were at the level of overwhelm. What they teach is just to bring yourself up to the next level. So don't go from overwhelm to joy. That's just a massive leap. So just taking those small steps. So this list goes, you might then feel frustrated, and just appreciating and loving yourself for moving that tiny little step, and understanding that you have moved on from that previous thought. And then when you feel ready, you can look for the next one. And that's a really great tool, and I'd love to share that. If you want it, I can send that on to you too. It actually accompanies the book, and I got the book on audiobook, so I typed it all out. Affirmations, really good. A lot of people say they're not as powerful, but they're a great place to start. I started reading Louise Hay. She was one of the first people I started getting affirmations from, and I've still got the list that I made like a year ago in my bathroom, this big long affirmation, and when I stand and do my teeth, I just have them all there, and I just read through it every day. And I think they've made a difference, you know, and it's definitely a good place to start, just to start saying something more positive every morning, rather than, you know, some people look in the mirror and they're not saying the nicest things to themselves as soon as they wake up, you know, so that's when you've got to change it right in the morning, when that kind of sets the theme for the day for a lot of people. And sometimes it's really hard to get out of that. I know sometimes I really struggle when I'm like, but I'm very aware of it now. I think that's the difference. I'm like, okay, I've got to do something, and I put an audio on, or I just get out in the garden with the kids. You know, I really try and do something. So I think that's, like, just being aware is a big step, a big change, and it does help you move on. Yeah, I have talked to most things have been said, but really it's just believing in yourself and knowing that you can do anything, and I wholeheartedly and absolutely believe in you. So you can do anything you want to do, and if you don't believe in yourself right now, I do, and I love you. So yeah, me. Yeah, it's been great to see you ladies tonight.
And thank you, Gabrielle. I was going to say we have Michelle Tafoya in our chat is saying that she was commenting on the whole too, that she that pets are to you, Elizabeth, saying that pets are really wonderful for therapeutic as well. I just want to shout out to Michelle in there. And Gabrielle, that was so powerful. Ladies, any thoughts to add in? Because thank you so much. I have to go back and take notes on all that. So many wonderful things. Are good? Anybody? Yeah. And I want to throw out to everybody again to connect with us. And there's the link below, and you can go in, get connected to our system, get connected to us, send messages to us, get connected to us in our community and what it is that we do, and just remember those thoughts. They are, I love the idea of slowly transitioning up your space and your where you're at. There's just so many things that you mentioned, Gabrielle. Go back and go over it again, and just remember those thoughts are not yours. They're if it's negative and it feels yuck, you don't have to buy into them. You really don't. They're not yours. They're not reality. Who you are, like she said, is we're all wonderful. Anybody else have any other thoughts? Otherwise, we say thank you and welcome back, and come back next week. And we're all good. All right. So click the link below if you haven't already. Connect with our community. If you're in the community, stay connected to us. And
yeah, make 2015 the best year.
Great 2015. Believe in the reality of who you really are, not that negative crap flowing through your brain. Tell it doesn't belong. Mwah.
Woohoo!